Many people mistake the early warnings of heart difficulty for normal signs of aging, often dismissing them until they become severe. In this video, we will cover 13 specific early signs of heart failure that are frequently ignored, helping you understand what your body is trying to tell you. 1. Unusual fatigue from daily tasks. The first early sign involves a distinct change in your energy levels that goes beyond simple tiredness. It is normal to feel tired after a long day or vigorous exercise, but this sign appears after small, routine activities. You might notice that walking to the mailbox, which used to be easy, now leaves you feeling completely drained. Or perhaps carrying a light bag of groceries makes you feel the need to sit down immediately. This type of fatigue is persistent and does not always resolve with a good night's sleep. This happens because the heart is a muscular pump responsible for delivering oxygen-rich blood to the rest of the body. When the heart muscle weakens or becomes stiff, it cannot pump blood as efficiently as it needs to. As a result, the body prioritizes sending blood to the most vital organs, such as the brain and the heart itself. This means that the muscles in your arms and legs receive less blood and oxygen than they require to function optimally. Without adequate oxygen, your muscles tire very quickly, leading to that heavy, exhausted feeling. You may notice this most during the afternoon or after eating a meal, when the body is working to digest food. It is not simply about feeling sleepy, it is a feeling of physical depletion throughout the body. Recognizing this difference between normal tiredness and deep fatigue is a helpful first step. This is something you can monitor easily at home by tracking your daily energy levels. Paying attention to how your body reacts to simple chores gives you valuable information. 2. Shortness of breath. During light activity, the second sign is often dismissed as being out of shape, but it is a specific type of breathlessness known medically as dyspnea. This symptom occurs when you are doing things that should be comfortable for you. You might find yourself winded after climbing just a few stairs, or you may need to stop and catch your breath while walking across the room. Unlike the heavy breathing that comes from a workout, this shortness of breath feels disproportionate to the effort you are exerting. It occurs because the heart is not pumping blood forward efficiently, causing blood to back up in the veins that return blood from the lungs to the heart. This backup increases pressure in the blood vessels within the lungs, which can push fluid into the air sacs. Even a small amount of fluid accumulation makes it harder for the lungs to expand fully and exchange oxygen. Consequently, your body has to work harder to breathe, leading to that sensation of air hunger. This can happen gradually over weeks or months. You might unconsciously adjust your lifestyle to avoid it, such as walking slower or taking the elevator instead of the stairs, without realizing why. Noticing these subtle changes in your breathing patterns helps you stay aware of your heart's function. It is helpful to compare your current ability to breathe with how you felt 6 months ago. 3rd, general weakness in the legs. Here is another physical sign that manifests specifically in the lower body. You may begin to feel a sensation of heaviness or weakness in your legs, making walking feel like wading through water. This is not necessarily accompanied by pain, but rather a lack of strength and stability. Standing up from a seated position might require more effort than before, or your legs might feel shaky after standing for a short period. This symptom is directly related to blood flow distribution. As mentioned earlier, when the heart struggles to pump, the body diverts blood away from the muscles in the limbs to protect the vital organs in the center of the body. The large muscles in the legs require a significant amount of oxygen to function, especially when moving the weight of the body. When that oxygen supply is reduced, the muscles cannot perform as well, leading to weakness. This is often one of the earlier indicators that the heart's pumping capacity is slightly reduced. Older adults sometimes attribute this to arthritis or general aging, but muscle weakness caused by the heart is distinct because it affects the endurance of the muscle. This awareness allows you to distinguish between joint issues and circulation issues. Monitoring how your legs feel during a walk around the block is a simple way to check this. 4th, Swelling in the ankles and feet. Moving to visible signs, this fourth symptom is one of the most common indicators of fluid retention. You might notice that your shoes feel tighter by the end of the day, or that your socks leave deep indentations on your ankles when you take them off. In the morning, your feet might look normal, but as the day progresses, the swelling increases. This swelling, known as edema, is usually painless but can cause the skin to feel tight or stretched. This occurs due to gravity and the mechanics of blood return. When the heart is not pumping strongly enough, blood does not move through the body as quickly as it should. This causes a backup of pressure in the veins, forcing fluid out of the blood vessels and into the surrounding tissues. Because of gravity, this fluid naturally settles in the lowest parts of the body, the feet, ankles, and legs. The kidneys also play a role here. When the heart function decreases, the kidneys receive less blood flow. They respond by retaining water and sodium in an attempt to increase blood volume, which unfortunately adds to the fluid buildup. Checking for swelling is very straightforward. You can gently press your thumb into the skin near your ankle bone. If the indentation remains for a few seconds after you remove your finger, it suggests fluid retention. This simple check takes only a moment and provides clear feedback. Most older adults can inspect their ankles daily as part of their routine. Fifth, sudden, unexplained weight gain. Another sign related to fluid retention is a rapid increase in weight. This is not the type of weight gain that happens from overeating over the course of a few months. Instead, this involves gaining 2, 3, or even more pounds within a 24-hour period, or 5 pounds in a week. You might notice this sudden change even if your diet has not changed or if your appetite has actually decreased. This weight comes purely from fluid accumulation in the body's tissues. As the heart weakens, the body holds on to more water and salt than it can process. Since 1 pint of water weighs roughly 1 pound, accumulating just a small amount of extra fluid can dramatically change the number on the scale very quickly. This rapid fluctuation is a key marker distinguishing it from fat gain, which happens much slower. Doctors often recommend weighing yourself at the same time every morning, usually after using the restroom and before breakfast, to track these changes accurately. Keeping a simple log of your daily weight can help you spot this trend immediately. This habit is easy to integrate into your morning schedule. Identifying this fluid weight early helps manage the workload on the heart. 6. Persistent swelling in the abdomen. Here is another location where fluid retention commonly occurs. You may feel bloated, or your pants might feel unusually tight around the waist, even if you haven't gained body fat. This sensation of fullness can be uncomfortable and might persist regardless of what you eat. This condition is sometimes called ascites when the fluid accumulates in the space between the abdominal lining and the organs. The mechanism is similar to swelling in the legs, but affects the liver and digestive area. When the right side of the heart struggles to pump blood to the lungs, pressure builds up in the veins leading into the heart. This back pressure affects the liver and the veins in the abdomen, causing fluid to leak into the abdominal cavity. This swelling can crowd the stomach, making you feel full very quickly, which we will discuss more in a later point. Unlike bloating from gas or indigestion, this swelling tends to be constant and does not go away after passing gas or using the restroom. It is a physical accumulation of liquid. Noticing how your waistband fits is a practical way to monitor this. This observation helps you stay in tune with your body's fluid balance. 7th, difficulty sleeping flat. The 7th sign appears when you try to go to bed at night. You may find that lying completely flat on your back causes you to feel short of breath. To get comfortable, you might need to prop yourself up with 2 or 3 pillows, or you may even prefer sleeping in a recliner chair. This condition is known medically as orthopnea. When you stand or sit upright during the day, gravity helps keep fluid in your lower body, specifically your legs. However, when you lie flat, gravity no longer keeps that fluid down. The fluid that has accumulated in your legs redistributes into the upper body and lungs. This increase in fluid volume in the chest area compresses the lungs and makes it harder to breathe. As soon as you sit up or prop yourself up with pillows, gravity pulls the fluid down again and breathing usually becomes easier. This is a very specific mechanical reaction to body position. It is different from general insomnia or trouble falling asleep due to racing thoughts. If you notice you are gradually adding more pillows to your bed over time, this is a significant signal. Recognizing this change in your sleeping habits is simple and important. 8. Waking up short of breath. Another sleep-related sign is waking up suddenly gasping for air. This is different from the previous point because it happens after you have already fallen asleep, usually 1 or 2 hours into the night. You might wake up with a feeling of panic or suffocation, needing to sit up quickly or go to an open window to catch your breath. This experience can be frightening and is medically termed paroxysmal nocturnal dyspnea. The cause relates to the fluid redistribution we discussed, but it also involves the respiratory center in the brain. As fluid settles in the lungs while you sleep, the ability of the lungs to exchange oxygen decreases. Eventually, the oxygen levels in the blood drop low enough, or carbon dioxide levels rise high enough to trigger the brain to wake you up to breathe deeper. Once you sit up and the fluid drains back down, the breathing usually returns to normal after several minutes. This symptom is a strong indicator that fluid is building up in the lungs. While it can be alarming, understanding that it is a mechanical issue helps reduce the fear associated with it. Observing your sleep quality provides direct insight into your respiratory health. 9. A persistent dry cough. Here is another respiratory sign that is easily mistaken for a cold or allergies. This involves a cough that won't go away, often described as a dry, hacking cough. It tends to be worse when you are lying down flat, similar to the breathing difficulties we mentioned. Sometimes this cough may produce a white or pinkish mucus, which is a detail worth noting. This cough is caused by fluid accumulating in the lungs, a condition called pulmonary edema. Even a small amount of fluid can irritate the lining of the airways, triggering the cough reflex as the body tries to clear the passage. The heart is not pumping blood out of the lungs effectively, leading to congestion in the lung tissue. If the cough produces frothy mucus with a pink tint, this indicates a small amount of blood has leaked into the air sacs due to the pressure, which is a specific sign of heart strain. Many seniors assume a lingering cough is just a stubborn virus or a reaction to dry air. However, if the cough persists without other cold symptoms like a runny nose or fever, it is related to circulation rather than infection. Listening to your chest and noticing when the cough happens helps you distinguish the cause. Most older adults can easily track when their coughing fits occur. 10th, loss of appetite or nausea. Moving to the digestive system, the 10th sign involves a change in how you eat. You might sit down to a meal feeling hungry, but after just a few bites you feel uncomfortably full, or you may experience a persistent low-level nausea that makes food unappealing. This creates a confusing situation where you might be gaining weight from fluid retention while simultaneously eating less food. This happens because the digestive system requires a rich supply of blood to process food. When the heart is struggling, it diverts blood away from the digestive tract to prioritize the brain and heart. Furthermore, as we discussed with abdominal swelling, fluid buildup in the liver and intestines can physically compress the stomach. The lining of the stomach and intestines can also become swollen with fluid, which interferes with proper digestion and absorption of nutrients. This creates that sensation of fullness or early satiety. It is important to separate this symptom from general stomach upset or food intolerance. If this feeling is consistent over many days, it is a signal of how the digestive organs are being perfused with blood. Noticing how you feel during and after meals is a simple daily observation. 11. Increased urination at night. One more easy change to notice involves your bathroom habits. You might find yourself waking up multiple times during the night to urinate, much more than you do during the day. This condition, known as nocturia, can disrupt your sleep and leave you feeling tired the next morning. While this can also be related to other conditions, it is a common marker for heart efficiency. During the day when you are standing and active, the heart may struggle to pump enough blood to the kidneys because of the competing demands of the muscles and the effects of gravity. As a result, the kidneys filter less urine during waking hours and fluid stays in the body. When you lie down to sleep, the heart has less work to do because it doesn't have to fight gravity to pump blood to the head, and the muscles are at rest. This allows more blood to flow to the kidneys. The kidneys then take advantage of this increased blood flow to filter out the excess waste and fluid that accumulated during the day. This results in increased urine production specifically while you are trying to sleep. Monitoring the frequency of your nighttime bathroom trips helps you understand your body's fluid processing. This is a practical pattern to track. 12. Rapid or irregular heartbeat. The 12th sign is a direct sensation from the heart itself. You may feel like your heart is racing, throbbing, or skipping a beat, even when you are sitting still or resting. This sensation is often called palpitations. It might feel like a fluttering in the chest or a pounding that you can feel in your neck. This occurs as a compensation mechanism. When the heart muscle is weakened and cannot pump enough blood with each beat, the body attempts to make up for this shortfall by beating faster. The brain sends signals to the heart to increase its rate in an effort to maintain adequate blood flow to the organs. Essentially, the heart is running a marathon just to keep up with the body's resting needs. Over time, this extra work can cause the heart to enlarge or develop an irregular rhythm. Feeling your heart race when you are anxious or exercising is normal, but feeling it race while reading a book or watching television is a sign the heart is under stress. Being aware of your resting heart rate is a useful habit. You can easily check your pulse at your wrist to see if it feels fast or irregular. 13th. Confusion or impaired thinking. The final sign we will discuss affects the mind. You may notice moments of confusion, memory loss, or a feeling of disorientation. Family members might notice that you seem less alert or that you are having trouble following complex conversations. This is often described as brain fog, but can appear as sudden changes in mental clarity. The brain is extremely sensitive to changes in blood flow and oxygen levels. It requires a constant, steady supply of oxygen and glucose to function correctly. When the heart's pumping ability declines, the amount of oxygen reaching the brain can fluctuate or decrease. Additionally, the changes in sodium levels caused by fluid retention and kidney function can also affect brain chemistry, leading to confusion. While it is easy to blame moments of forgetfulness on age, these changes are often linked to how well the brain is being fueled by the circulation. If the confusion clears up when other symptoms like shortness of breath improve, it confirms the connection. Observing your mental sharpness is just as important as monitoring physical symptoms. This awareness helps you maintain your overall well-being. Summary and final thoughts. Recognizing these 13 signs early allows for better management and a higher quality of life. The body often gives these quiet signals long before a condition becomes urgent. By paying attention to changes in your energy, breathing, sleep, and digestion, you stay in control of your health journey. If you found this list helpful, or if you know someone over 50 who could benefit from this information, share this video with them and subscribe for more simple health tips.